If you're feeling frustrated with dating apps, you're not getting the matches you want, I bet there's going to be some really simple changes we can make to your profile to make it far more effective. I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and in this short video, I'm going to be giving you 4 exercises that you can do on the written part of your dating app profile to rapidly increase the amount of matches you're going to get. So I want to structure this video like it's a practical workshop, so it may be beneficial for you to look at your dating app or your online dating profile as we're working through this together. And during this video, I'm going to ask you 4 questions about your dating app profile, and then depending on what your answers are, I'm going to be giving you an exercise to do so you can fine-tune your profile and get better results. So here's the big trick when it comes to online dating. It's all about creating points of difference about yourself. It's about standing out from the crowd and making people appreciate who you are as an individual. Now, so often when we write an online dating profile, we can really accidentally end up making ourselves sound just like everybody else out there, which is why I've developed these 4 exercises to make sure that your profile is full of personality. So my goal today isn't to make you sound like everybody else. It's in fact to help you go out there and create an amazing profile that's unique to you and does a really good job of attracting the matches that you want. So the first question I want you to ask yourself is my profile too generic? Now, this is probably the most common online dating or dating app problem, so listen carefully. What I mean by a profile that's too generic, it either could be that you describe things in too general terms, i.e. you say things like, I really like travel, or I like going out and I like staying in, all of which will make you sound just like everybody else. It could also be that you're being too generic in terms of how you express things. I bet we've all seen an online dating profile out there that has the cliche, I'm looking for a partner in crime, or these are 3 words that describe me, or even if you're looking on dating apps, that people just put, Irish flag emoji, golf ball emoji. And it's the same, whether it's the formatting, the words that you use, the phrases that you say. If things are too generic, it's too easy for someone to become banner blind and not recognize how you are an individual. So how do we fix this? We need to take your profile and make it far more specific. So to start with, let's look at when you're using those general terms like I like travel. Here, it's just a case of doing some word substitution. Instead of ever using like a general term like I like travel, or I like food, or I like going out, you have to specify. So even if you said, you'll catch me next on Koh Samui, knocking back a coconut water, immediately it's so much more detailed, and because you've gone detailed, it's highly unlikely that somebody else is going to have expressed themselves in exactly the same way. So the exercise I want you to do is I want you to go through your profile. I want you to look out for times where you've perhaps expressed things in a way that is too general. I want you to replace them with more specific things. I also want you to avoid cliched phrases like my friends would describe me as, and instead go for more specific examples. I actually have a great video on explaining how you can create more catchy phrases in your profile, and I'm putting a link to that there right now. It's called Show Don't Tell. Secondly, I want you to create a headline for yourself. So whether you use a dating app or a more traditional online dating site, creating a headline for yourself is just basically creating one witty, amazing one-liner that you put at the start of your profile, which says a little bit about who you are. So an example of that could be seeker of high fives, hot chilies, and heated debates. Now, if you read that as someone's profile, it's not going to appeal to everyone, but a headline like that will appeal to some people because it shows a lot about this person's personality. If you say, oh, I'm a seeker of high fives, hot chilies, and heated debates, how does that person come across? I think they sound like they're probably going to be fiery. They like really enriched full fat life experiences, that they're probably very spontaneous. They sound kind of exciting. So I want you to understand that just by creating a headline for your profile, rather than defaulting to the old 3 words my friends would use to describe me thing, you can actually show who you are through a clever description. Now, if you're like, Hayley, that's great, but how in the world do I create that? Well, the first thing I want you to notice for your exercise around creating a headline for your profile is that sentence, seeker of high fives, hot chilies, and heated debates, It is just a list of 3 things. It's a list of 3 very specific things that are important or describe a certain person. Now, when you go through your profile, I bet you can see 3 things that are important to you. So it could be my happy places, black and white movies, cups of Earl Grey, and tickling my tabby cat's tummy. I don't know. And again, perhaps we've got a very different image of this person. Perhaps maybe they sound sedate, very homey. So it's a very different image that's built around yourself. So remember your headline, as long as it has an unusual beginning and it is a list of 3, you should be able to recreate this now for yourself. If you want to develop the skills to how to be a super effective, confident communicator when it comes to dating, please hit the link below this video and enroll in my free online training. Third question I want you to ask yourself about your profile is my profile Marmite enough? Marmite is a spread that we have in the UK, and its slogan is, you love it or you hate it. So it's about this idea that when we create a profile, it shouldn't just be about trying to appeal to everyone. It's actually about, how do I communicate with people in a way that I'm going to connect with people who are best matched to me? And the problem is, whilst being vanilla is unlikely to put anyone off, it's not going to switch anyone on either. So I think it's often better for you to create a profile that's a little bit more divisive. So just going back to that example of seeker of high fives, hot chilies, and heated debates, not everyone's going to want to hang out with that person. And that's okay. But what happens is, when we create these points of difference in our profile, which yes, some people may like, some people may not like, it actually demonstrates that we have really good self-esteem. We're not here to impress everybody. Instead, we're just here to represent ourselves. And that is inherently really attractive. So if you want to put something more controversial in there, I would say let's go for it. Just make sure that it's phrased in the right way. So if you want to put down that you're a massive fan of the football, you could say, confession, I am a fan of the footy, open brackets, though I promise I'll turn it off whenever you're around, close brackets. So there's a way here that you can be a little bit controversial. You can show that you're not there to please everyone, but you're still going to do it with an aura of playfulness. Think, is there anything in this profile that would help some people to feel even more attracted to me? And yes, maybe put some people off. Final question I want you to ask yourself about your profile is related to my last point. I want you to understand that perhaps the content of the profile in terms of what you've written isn't necessarily as important as how you've expressed it or how you've written it. And one of the things that distinguishes a not so great online dating profile from a really good one is the tone it's written in. And by tone, I mean, when someone reads your profile, does it come across as serious? Does it come across as playful? Do you seem warm? Do you seem approachable? All of these qualities can actually just be demonstrated through how you write something. So how do you ensure that your profile is written in that playful, approachable tone that people are going to find really attractive? So here's your exercise to do that. First of all, I want you to read your profile out loud. When you read your profile out loud, you will probably hear whether it sounds the right amount of friendly and warm, or whether it might sound a bit serious and a little bit too much like Wikipedia. When we write, we have a tendency to write in a way that is much more formal than how we speak. So we want to just be aware of how that could be coming across when we've written a profile. And a good exercise that you can do in addition to this to help you change to a more playful style of expression is you can actually dictate your profile to yourself. So you can actually talk about what your profile should have in it and then use those phrases that just came naturally to you and put them into your profile. Again, this is a relatively easy way of injecting a lot more personality into your profile. So if at the moment your profile is lacking personality, remember there are going to be some relatively simple things that you can do to really change it and create a far more captivating profile. I'd highly recommend you use the 4 exercises I suggested to polish it up. I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and of course, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe.